Welcome into another Locked On NFL Insider Report. I'm your host, Kainani Stevens. Isaiah Stanback with us once again. Thank you for joining us. Isaiah, we've been talking for a while, especially when the Aaron Rodgers saga was going on, that we thought it was going to be a package deal wherever Aaron Rodgers ended up. Davante Adams would go along with, but now not so much. The Packers trading Davante Adams away to the Raiders. How much of a surprise does this come to you, and kind of what happened?
It was very surprising to me, especially this early on, right in the offseason, or at least in the new year, I guess for NFL. I mean, you're talking about the best receiver in the game, just recently being franchise tagged, the one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, just re-signing with the Green Bay Packers. That is in Aaron Rodgers, and to your point, you would assume that Aaron Rodgers came back with the understanding that Green Bay was going to do everything they can to secure his number one receiver, one of the obviously the league's number one threat at the position, and as of today, that didn't happen. They did what they could in terms of franchise tagging him. I think that actually might have made matters even worse. I think that infuriated him to the point where he felt like they didn't give him the value that he deserved. He had the opportunity to go down to Las Vegas now and play with his best friend and college teammate, college quarterback Derek Carr, and let me let the people know what they did in college together. Okay, they had 2 years together in college at Fresno State. In those 2 years, Davante Adams had, let me go ahead and give you this, 3,031 yards and 38 touchdowns together when Derek Carr and Davante Adams teamed up over those 2 years at Fresno State. These guys know how to play ball together. They're best friends. They're now neighbors because apparently Davante Adams has already purchased a house next door to Derek Carr. This is going to be fun to watch.
So obviously, this is something where, the franchise tag kind of irritates players a lot of the time
Yeah.
because they're trying to get long-term deals or they're trying to move off to somewhere else. And this is a case where maybe the money would have been there if he wanted to stay in Green Bay, but he didn't want to stay. So it's a matter of personal matters. You brought up his relationship with Carr, maybe lifestyle, wanted to live somewhere else. Is this one of those situations where it was just a lot of off-field factors and we kind of assumed he might stay there because Rodgers was there, but there's other stuff going on?
There's so many things to take into consideration when you look at this particular deal. I mean, you take into consideration the fact that all the drama that has been surrounding Aaron Rodgers over the past few years. Then you take into account that it's Green Bay. It's not the most most great destination place that you want to go to. And then you look at it on the flip side. It's Las Vegas. It's a new location, new stadium. The city is buzzing. Your best friend and college quarterback, it just happens to be the quarterback down there. They're throwing a bunch of money at you to make you the highest paid receiver of all times. There's not a lot of downside. Oh, and by the way, you just happen to now be playing with Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs. I mean, these dudes are stacked offensively. So you're not only by yourself offensively now like you were in Green Bay for the most part, aside from Aaron Jones. Now you have a whole plethora of guys that they have to worry about. Your matchups are going to be very favorable.
In terms of Green Bay's dealing with this, they had all of that stuff they're trying to deal with Rodgers. Now they've got all this, spaces they're trying to fill, and they've lost, his main target. So where do they go from here?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what the game plan is, but you would assume that their management, obviously knew that there was a chance that they might lose Davante Adams. As soon as they put that franchise tag on him, he was very quick to go ahead and announce that I'm not playing for you guys under this tag, and I have no plans to play for you guys ever again in my history. So they knew that there was a chance that they were going to lose him. They had to start trying to figure out a great suitor for him. They found that in the Las Vegas Raiders. But now, to your point, they have to go find a number one target. You can't just do this by committee. This isn't a let's go grab two or three more Randall Cobbs. You need a number one receiver. But if you don't, then this is an opportunity to see, hey, exactly how great are you, Aaron Rodgers? You've had a number one receiver over these years. Can you do what Tom Brady has done for year after year after year with his 7 Super Bowl championships by not having really a true number one?
And Aaron Rodgers has come out and flat said before the season even, before any of the negotiations even happened, he doesn't want to be on a rebuild team. So
Yeah.
when they're getting rid of his best weapon, but re-signing him, is this just kind of like the exact, nightmare scenario for him, I would imagine, because he's like, okay, I'll come back, but now you're getting rid of my favorite target.
Aaron Rodgers, grab your hard hat, your cheese hat, because you're Bob the Builder right now. This is exactly what's going down. You are literally Bob the Builder. You have to figure out exactly how you're going to piece together this offense. You still have some very, solid pieces in Aaron Jones. You have some solid pieces in Dylan and your offensive line. You got some guys there, but you are missing. There's a gaping hole now at that number one wide receiver position. You think about it now, their number one receiver, Randall Cobb.
In terms of the Raiders, we'll look at them offensively. They're very talented, but they've had struggles, whether it be special teams or just being consistent throughout the season. Does this put them on a different level now that they have that home run target?
I think it does, but I think that the AFC West has been very competitive. We've been seeing all the moves that have been transpiring over these past few days since free agency hit, and the AFC has been busy. It seemed like every team now in the AFC West has two solid defensive ends. So you got to have guys that you can get the ball out to quickly. Obviously, they have Hunter Renfrow. He's a threat. He's a weapon. They also have Brian Edwards. He does a great job. We know how great Darren Waller is, Josh Jacobs. So you have a weapon at every single skill position offensively. Now it's just a matter of them continuing to piece it together. They've invested a lot of money defensively by securing Max Crosby and then most recently Chandler Jones. So they're going to have an opportunity to get the ball in their hand with plenty of opportunities offensively. Now, can you distribute the ball quick enough with all this pressure that you're going to be facing in this division?
AFC West ain't no joke, looks like, going forward, and the Packers got a lot of stuff to do to try to keep Rodgers happy. So we'll see how that goes. Isaiah, thank you as always. I'm Kainani. This has been Locked On NFL.